team, and welcome back to the channel if you are returning, and welcome if you're a new visitor, most welcome. Right, today is Saturday, and what I wanted to do was lay the groundwork for what essentially is a key session tomorrow, and the backdrop of why we're into these different kind of key sessions at the moment on this training block, as we aim for the first goal of 2024, the British Duathlon Championships, standard distance, Oulton Park, 24th of March. So what do I mean by key sessions, groundwork and all that? Well, today is just an easy spin. Tomorrow's a key session, and it's going to be comprised of three aspects that I want to incorporate in this last phase. It's 6 weeks basically until race day. A bit of a taper on the 6 week, that's only 5 weeks. So what period of time can we expect to do any hard training and get some adaptation in there to make gains? I propose not very much, to be honest. I've proven I'm in decent shape, so now we're just kind of developing that last maybe 2 to 5% gains that we can make in this last 4 to 5 weeks. I'm older, it takes longer for me to adapt and recover, so in essence there's not that many hard sessions left that I can get in like a 4 to 5 week period. So how am I going to approach this last 4 to 5 weeks? Well, there are some aspects, as I mentioned, that I want to get in there. 3 aspects, I guess you could put them in those buckets. Bucket 1, specifics. It needs to be specific to duathlon. I've done lots of run training, done lots of bike training. I've done quite a few specific bike run to conditioning, mixing it up, specific to duathlons. Well, this last 4 to 5 weeks I want the majority of my sessions to be like that. So when I'm biking, I incorporate running. When I'm running, I incorporate biking, to make it specific and not forgetting transitions as well. So that's the first specific that I want in key sessions. The other one, I want to get a few sessions in that are of the same length, the volume of the session, as I will experience on race day. So I need 2 hours basically. I need to make sure I've got some experience of 2 hours specific duathlon sessions incorporating runs and bikes. And the third aspect is intensity. I need to have a good level of intensity within these key sessions, especially a session that's 2 hours long. So that's quite meaty, isn't it? And there'll be a recovery period to pay for a session like that. And tomorrow is exactly that kind of session. And that session is pretty similar to what I did a few months ago, and I made a few videos on that, which was the bike run sessions based on endurance. And then we did those sessions and increased the intensity slightly, do some steady tempo work. This time it's going to be a lot more intense, and it is going to be the same format though, of a bike run. So how am I going to do that? I've created a custom workout in Zwift, which will be here. Now that workout is just a single workout, but what I'll do is that first half I'll split. So I'll do the first half as my initial bike workout, which includes a warm-up, and then you'll see there where it splits. I'll do my first run. Once I've done the first run, I'll come back and I'll do the second half of that custom workout. The second half, the second part of that custom workout, that's going to be where all the protein is, where all the real benefits are, and it's going to be the hardest, that's for sure, because of the intensity of the first bike, first run. Onto that second bike is going to be hard. That's going to mimic getting on the bike in a duathlon race after the first run. And then after that second bike, there's another run to do. So that's going to mimic the run off the first bike in duathlon race. So you're creating loads of fatigue prior to doing the really meaty bit on the second half of this whole session. And it's a good way of practicing transitions as well. What are the run elements of these run sets going to look like then? Well, I'm going to do what I call 6-4-2s. I'll try and document it and put it up on the screen. This is all in my head at the moment. I've done this before, so I'll do my first bike, I'll jump off, and I'll do a bit of a steady couple of minutes to get to the right point on the course where I can do the 642s without too much interruption, because this isn't treadmill. This is going to be out on the outside paths in a park probably. So 6 minutes steady. By steady, what do we mean by that? Well, sort of just below tempo. So for me, probably around 4 minute 20 per k pace for 6 minutes. Then two minutes float. Not total recovery, probably around 5 minutes per k. And then we do 4 minutes. Now that 4 minutes is tempo. So we want around 4 minutes per k or slightly under, depending on how I feel. Remember, we've done the hard bike first because it's a specific session. And then we do another 2 minutes float, around 5 minutes per k pace. And then we do 2 minutes hard. Ideally, judging on what I've ran in races, I don't know, somewhere under 350, but it depends how I feel on the day. It's more about getting the intensity and how it feels rather than what pace you produce, because you're mixing it up with a bike. So what you think you can run as a flat, it's nowhere near what you can run when you're pre-fatigued and exhausted, as we're trying to introduce in the whole session. So then I'll take 2 minutes recovery, and we're building around 25 minutes running there, get back to the bike, and then we do the second half of the bike Zwift custom workout. And then after the second half of the Zwift custom workout, you repeat that runs of 642. Now ideally you want to match the pace that you did on the first 642, but you're fatigued, vastly fatigued. So it kind of mimics a second run in a duathlon. Generally, second run in a duathlon is nowhere near the first run. But remember, I'll have already done a bike before that first run. But it's a good marker to see how your resistance is to the fatigue and how you can perform when you're building that fatigue. Another thing to remember, 2 hours. Do you need to feed in 2 hours? Historically, all I need is liquid hydration and maybe one gel. That's me in triathlon races. So I'll have a couple of gels ready. My sort of nutritional choice is Morton. I know it's good for me, and I've done things like 100-mile time trial just on Morton 360 drinks, no gels, and I've had lots of energy, no stomach problems. So I'll probably stick to Morton 360 on race day and just drink that, sip that during the bike, and that will make sure my energy's topped up as we get to the back end of the bike and the second run on race day. But I digress. So that's the session plan for tomorrow, key session, and then I'll focus on recovery before I hit the next specific key session. So hope all that makes sense. I don't think it's that complicated. I've probably just waffled on and made it sound complicated. Please, any questions, drop me a line. This is just my logic, how I work. It works for me, the bike run scenario, pre-exhaust, running off the bike, getting back on the bike, and as I said before, getting on that second bike after the run is potentially the hardest part of duathlon, and that's why the workout is good. It's in erg mode. You've got to match those paces, so you just push through, and then onto the second run and feel the pain. Thanks very much for watching for this just a waffle video rather than any actual clips of action. I will document that session tomorrow as detailed as I can. Down and dirty, gritty, pain, suffering, whichever way you want to skin it. It is going to hurt, but it's going to be fun and hopefully productive, as I said, to get that last kind of up to 5% improvement on the fitness I've got now, which I'm quite happy with. So yeah, join me for the next video. Let's suffer together. Remember, keep running, keep biking, and then as we'll do tomorrow, run again.